You doing all right?
Yeah, I'm doing good. How you doing?
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
I hope you have a good day.
Hope you have a better week.
I hope your month is full of successful days and a lot of great ventures. I hope you just come up, brother.
I hope your whole fucking year is spectacular.
Oh, you hope my year is spectacular.
Yeah.
You got something you want to say to me?
You got something you want to say?
As always, before we leave out, we're going to move on to the riddle for next week's episode. You watched the episode before this. I mentioned some of them in that last episode. So I'm not going to string you along. I'm going to let you get the tea. You're going to know everything fairly soon, so you don't got to look at me sideways, nor do you have to keep yelling my name incessantly.
Where's Ray?
Where's Ray?
Ray!
You're going to know it all and see it all and have as much fun as you did when you looked up your birthday to see what the Florida man did.
Just make sure you tell him to watch out for Florida, man.
What's Florida, man?
And with that, for Paige, for Scott, for Melissa, for Chris, and for Noah, What up, family? It's your boy Amadou, and we are back with another episode of One Gotta Stay. A little late because Cleveland be Clevelanding, and anytime I have this man on, I gotta take shots. But we'll get to that a little later. Very excited for today's episode. We'll get right to it. My brother from second grade on, Mr. Durrell, Lil Durrell. Shout out to Big Durrell. How you doing, sir? How you feeling?
I'm doing well. Got a couple things I want to get off my chest before we get started. Number one, the last episode I was on was about video games. The video game I chose to stay was the highest grossing video game of last year. So I'm just going to let the facts speak for themselves. Number two, my boy Jonathan Majors saw this list and is wondering why he didn't make it.
Not a big enough filmography.
2 episodes ago. What are you talking about?
Okay.
2 episodes ago. Watch 2 episodes ago. This is my second for Black Actors episode. So go back and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Cool.
All right. Well, we got on the other side of him, we got an OG. Episode 1 has been on from the beginning. Drew, how you feeling today?
I'm doing good. Thank you for allowing me to come back and chat with you all. I'm very interested to see your guys' picks, and I hope you guys picked right.
Probably not going to be right for half of us, but we will see. Below Drew is he was on last week. He's back this week because he has a lot of good things to say. And that list he brought to me. We'll see what happens. Ryan, Mr. Payne, Sexual Chocolate. How you doing, sir?
Sexual Chocolate, what's up, bro? I'm actually amazed that I got on here. I mean, I'm not saying that my picks aren't going to be controversial. It's just like the last time I was on here with Black Actors, it's just everything's going off of feeling. And I'm not going to blow any people's minds out the water, but it's like, hey, I feel what I feel. And I like these actors. I'm just saying, like, this could have been any other day. This could have been a completely different list.
Yeah. By the way, Durrell, it was Jonathan Majors, Yahya Abdul-Mateen, Brian Tyree Henry, and why am I always forgetting the fourth one? It's killing me. Oh. Somebody help me out.
Shit.
I know why, because he was my number 4, Michael B. Jordan.
Makes sense. He's forgettable.
There you go. So that was 2 episodes ago. If you haven't seen it, go watch 2 episodes ago before the young ladies one I had last week. It was the 4 Black Actors the week before. But next to Ryan, it's been a minute, but he always sends in the list. Finally was able to get him back on. Malcolm, how you feeling, sir?
I'm feeling good. I don't know if I'll be roasted for the order I've got my actors, but it's one of those ones I looked at. As soon as I heard the 4, was like, "What? I already know which order they're going in." Then changed it about a few times, and I was like, "No, I'm happy with them." So,
all right. And last week we had one half of Spin from the Reel. Go watch them after
One
this.
third.
One third now.
One fourth now. One fourth.
One fourth. But one half of the OG spins from the reel. Last week it was Chris. Our last episode was Chris. His face was priceless. That's why I put him in. This week, it's the dude who's either going to be crying after a second half of an NBA game or talking shit to me after the second half of an NBA game going on.
I mean, I'll talk shit right now. You can't beat us without right now. You're tied with us, and we're missing our best defender and our starting small forward and Colin Sexton and Ricky Rubio, and we still tied at halftime. Come on, bruh. You are nearly at full strength. You shouldn't have even said a goddamn word.
I mean, if we win, we win. If we lose, we lose. It is what it is. Matt,
I'm all right. Just, snowstorms in Cleveland. I know Rue does not miss these.
No, not at all. Not at all. I have to. We'll bring him back. Anyway, if you haven't figured it out from the background, today we are going to be choosing from four more incredible black actors. 3 of them coming up. 1 has been in for a while. We got Mr. Idris Elba, John Boyega, Daniel Kaluuya, and Lakeith Stanfield. Without further ado, let's get this started. And we are going to go over to Drew's number 4. Drew.
My number 4, my easiest pick. And I'm going to stay with first name so that I don't butcher folks' last name, but I'm going to get John out of there. He was easy for me to throw away based upon, and I like him as an individual, but based upon the things that I've seen him in, it's not really doing it for me. Like, y'all probably hate me, but I'm not a Star Wars fan, like, at all. The last 2 ones I tried to see in theaters, I fall asleep. I just can't get with Star Wars. So that's, like, for me, what he's really known for, and I can do without that. He was in Detroit, which was great, but there's a lot of Black trauma films out there, so I could do without Detroit and still get the point across, you know what I'm saying? Pacific Rim, I liked that movie, but that wasn't enough to keep him around for me in comparison to everybody else's long list of movies that I highly enjoy. You can throw that guy out from what I've seen from him.
I'm just shocked I heard someone call Pacific Rim Uprising a good movie.
It was okay. I like those kind of, like, you don't have to pay a lot of attention to it. It's good background noise for a little.
I can't even.
I mean, honestly, the first Pacific Rim was pretty much just kind of like a simple blockbuster film. If anyone was expecting more in the second one, I'm like, yeah.
The first Pac Rim actually has some heart to it. That one was a cash grab.
It does.
Well,
I'll tell you this. Pacific Rim Uprising is the movie I saw that told me John Boyega could do anything. I want him to see him in more comedies. Yes. However, I don't need to see him more than anybody else. That's why he's also my number 4. Does anybody else have John Boyega at number 4?
Me.
Malcolm, go ahead. Why do you also have him at number 4?
Yeah, so for me, when I did this, I made the conscious decision to sort of take out the big franchise one, see how the rest of the filmography sort of stack up against each other so that they're all on an even playing field. Unfortunately, like outside of Star Wars, like with John Boyega, like he's not been in a lot that I've seen, and the ones I've seen is like I enjoy, but I can do without because we do lose The Circle, which I know a lot of people don't like. I actually do like that. And I mean, I know there's a episode of Small Axe he was in that we'll lose as well, but yeah, he's just one of those ones that outside of Star Wars, like there's not a lot I've seen. I actually haven't seen Attack the Block, so
yeah, that's
yeah.
That's really it. The thing is, I want to see John Boyega in so much more. I think he is probably one of the most charismatic dudes out there right now. He is my pick if we ever do Indiana Jones reboot. Give me John Boyega as Indiana Jones. I don't give a damn if he's British. We've seen plenty of these British fellows play Americans very well. I feel like he would kill that. Give him more stuff. However, I don't like going back to Star Wars either. and he's not in any of the ones that I enjoy going back to. So, yeah, Boyega for me, he is also my number 4. He was the easiest of the 4 to get rid of. So that's what it was to me. But with that, I think that's the only ones who have Mr. Boyega as their number 4, which was a little bit of a surprise to me. But hey, it is what it is. We're going to go over now to Mr. Turbo. Daryl, who do you have as your
Let's get Daniel out of here.
Who? Stop it.
Yeah. Let's get Daniel out of here immediately.
He's one of the
his the best movie the best movie he's in, he's like the 4th best actor in it.
What movie is that? What movie is it?
Black Panther.
How is that the best movie that he's
I was
been
gonna
in?
say,
That's the best movie he's been in. He was in a TV show, Skins. That's the worst TV show that all of these actors have been in. He's just not doing it for me.
Okay, so you didn't go down his list of movies that he's actually been in. Got you. So you got you.
What is he in that's good?
Did you Messiah not good? Was Get Out not good?
Get Out was terrible.
Stop it.
All right, yeah.
Did they just kick out Daniel?
He did kick out Daniel.
What?
Did you say Get Out was terrible?
Get Out was pretty good for the first 2 acts, and then the 3rd act was like, let's just rush through all the horror movie tropes.
Oh,
that shit was intense as hell. With probably one of the most
wasn't.
satisfying endings ever. You
Oh,
know what?
His episode in the Black Mirror was hella good. Like, what?
I thought I was gonna piss people off, but I ain't doing it.
Does anybody else have Daniel Kaluuya as their number 1?
Number 1?
I mean,
You mean as number 4? Yeah, he's my number 4. And it's not for the same reason as he has, honestly. For me, having seen some of the films he's done, Queen and Slim, Get Out, even Judas and the Black Messiah, he's fantastic. But honestly, if it wasn't for those 3 films, Daniel Kaluuya could have been just one of those actors where I'm like, where have I seen him in?
Rude, do you allow use of the N-word?
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, go ahead. Yes.
Nigga, you kidding?
I'm not. I'm serious. Outside of those 3 films, Daniel Kaluuya does not strike out to me. Even when I saw Widows, I completely forgot he was in it until I watched it 3 months later down the road after it came out in theaters. So I'm sorry.
Why that role?
This nigga's tripping. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Again, I thought I was gonna piss people off.
When you watch Get Out, did you like Lil Rel more than you like Daniel?
No.
No,
He was funny. He acted the same.
Lil Rel saved that movie.
I'm gonna be even more on the end of it with Get Out. Daniel Kaluuya did not have me until that 3rd act, or at least until those hypnotizing scenes. Until then, I thought his role could have been played by anybody else. Until he got in that chair.
Bro, please mute this nigga. Please.
And I'm like, you're supposed to be my lead. You're supposed to have me invested in you in the 1st act. If you don't get me invested, if you get me invested until the 2nd act, I'm sorry, then you've lost my attention. But despite that, Daniel Kaluuya only falls
Sicario.
Sicario.
Ryan.
Sicario made me fall asleep twice. It made me fall asleep twice before I got Kaluuya.
Ryan, I had so much respect for you, and I lost a ton based off of this tape.
Is Daniel the best actor in Sicario?
Oh, it's that's
got Benicio del Toro, Emily Blunt.
So when has he ever been the best actor in a movie?
Who was a better actor than him in Judas and the Black Messiah?
Lakeith.
Stop it.
Queen and Slim.
I don't think Queen and Slim. I loved him in Queen and Slim.
They were both amazing. Black Panther. I'm sorry, but they all were kind of about the same, same level of greatness. With Michael B. Jordan a little bit below them at times.
Yeah, Michael B. Jordan's terrible.
Yeah, I didn't bring up Black Panther because every actor in that film were all on the same level for me. I wasn't trying
But
to see
see
who
that,
was top.
but
each other.
no, here. That's a reason you do bring it up, because at the end of the day, if every actor's on the same level, that's more of a reason to keep his ass, Ryan.
And I'm
My
sorry,
nigga.
Widows was not that good. But you know who was, the entire time
Daniel
without
Kaluuya.
saying a damn word? Was the
Daniel
sideways
Kaluuya.
glance, fam?
That
Right.
right there alone. That right there alone.
Just right up in the face. Right up in the.
That was
And then he talks and it's even better.
That will give me something to look back on. I'm just saying for right now, he's just my number 4. If I saw more, if I ain't gonna hush. I got more shit to say on the next number. I'm saying right now, he's my number 4.
Well, you know what?
I see his older products. I see his older projects. He might go up higher. It's just I remove him from those 3 films. I'm like, he leaves no impression.
Oh my gosh! Look, you know what? I'm gonna put the heat off of them because Matt, that your choice for number 4. Just go ahead and do it. Just do it.
In my defense, I was talking to you yesterday about how I went back and forth because this was probably the hardest list. And I know I'm about to piss off a lot of people, but I put Idris at my number 4.
What?
Yeah.
I kind of figured that.
Because let's be honest, is he great in Beast of No Nation? Yes. I could live without the losers. I could live without the Thor movies. Because let's be honest, there's one great movie there. And as Rue even told me, if it's a movie they co-star in, it's saved. So I don't lose the Harder They Fall. I get to keep the Harder They Fall. I'm good there. Suicide Squad, it's fine, but I don't need it. Like, overall, I'm happy with everything I get. So I don't care for Luther. Never got into Luther. Sorry.
Oh, motherfucker. No.
This man, he was Luther and Stringer Bell.
I'm here. Winston and Jay already revoked my black card. I've never seen The Wire. I'm 27, bro. I didn't really start getting into prestige television until season 4 of Game of Thrones.
All right, I can pretty much have only seen 2 seasons of The Wire, but that's 2 more seasons than you, so it's fine.
Yeah, and then like the thing that I thought I'd lose most out on is Pacific Rim, so I was able to move on. Bruh, you are the 4th nigga today who's told me I got homework. I know. The thing is, and Rue can attest to this.
Yo! Oh my gosh!
Yo. Rue can attest to this. My schedule is crazy as fuck as it is, so that's part of the reason I haven't gotten around to watching The Wire, because he's asked me to do this. Oh, I got a screening. Oh, I got this. Oh, I got this. Like, I'm either on a show, I have a screening to review a film, or I got school. So
even without The Wire, I don't understand you, but it's okay. It's all right. We're just going to go ahead. Nobody else has Idris's 4. It's not even a question.
Yeah.
It's not even close.
Well, clearly, because I'm the last one who went.
Exactly. With that, me, Drew, and Malcolm got rid of John Boyega. I thought that was going to be the easy out for most people. Y'all surprised me because Daryl Ryan had Daniel and Matt had Idris as their number 4. We'll see how this continues. And going forward, Ryan, you had it last time. We're going to go over to Malcolm. Malcolm, you're going to have to get the smoke now. What's going on?
Yeah, so my number 3 is Daniel Kaluuya. But, I mean, look, this is just one of those cases I've seen more of Idris and Lakeith. For me, it's the top 3 are easily interchangeable. But I think, like, for Daniel Kaluuya, while I do like all his movies, it just comes down to I like the movies that Lakeith and Idris have been in more. Because I mean, I even liked his role in Johnny English Reborn as Agent Tucker. I like that showed like his comedic side, which I don't think he's shown a lot since. But yeah.
Yeah, I also have Daniel at number 3. And this was the difficult one. This was the one I had to start looking through, like, all right, who has done what? Where have they done? And if you really look at it, Daniel might be, actually, I can't say that. Both John's acting skills is far below, and the other three are just back inches in acting skill. And the fact that Daniel can live up to how well the other two can act is great.
How well?
Like, all three of them are great. Daniel and Lakeith and Idris are all great actors, amazing actors.
They're good actors.
No, I think they're all pretty damn great. I would put them upper echelon.
Straight up. Bruh. Two of the actors on this list are carrying the baton that was dropped when Chadwick Boseman died. Quit. Don't like give them their respect.
It's not Lakeith.
I think they're on the same level. We'll see about that. But for me, it came down to now it's how many movies are they in? Yes, Daniel has Black Panther. Yes, Daniel has Get Out. What else does he have that I really, really, really can't stand to lose compared to the other two? I saw Widows, and Widows was kind of trash. I did not like that much. Queen and Slim, you said it. Black Trauma, good movie. Not gonna go back to it. Kick-Ass 2. Y'all forget he was in Kick-Ass 2.
Kick-Ass 2 is a shit film. I ain't even on.
So, like, the things he's in, it's just like the things he's going to be in. Yeah, Judas and the Black Messiah cannot lose. But comparably, they're either things I'm not going back to or things I've seen enough that I got other movies and I'm like, nah, I'm not losing those. So Daniel was also my number 3. Anybody else of Daniel at number 3?
I mean, I've already said my piece, but I've actually do a question. Do we only lose half of Judas and Get Out if we get rid of
No,
we don't lose it at all. Depending on who you say.
Yeah.
No, I was talking about in front of the other people on this list.
Yeah.
If one of the other people on the list is in that movie, you get to save the movie because you save their work. So that's kind of how it works. It's also what made this one a little bit more interesting.
That's why I made the list the way I did, because outside of Thor and Pac Rim, I couldn't live without a lot of the Idris stuff that I had seen. So
yeah. But with that, Ryan, we're going to you. Ryan, who is your number 3?
I may be alone on this one. But I will say this up front. This was, without a doubt, one of the harder choices I had to make. And if I have to live with not having this actor's career with more, I will regret and go on without it. But my number 3 is Lakeith Stanfield.
Get the fuck out of here.
Now, I know with Lakeith Stanfield, I'm losing a lot of good films that he's been in. I mean, of course, the one film that you have opening your damn show, which, sorry to bother you.
Did he do all right?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Didn't he take out Daniel last round?
Yes.
He did.
Get this nigga off the screen.
He got rid of both of them. Both of them.
Ryan, your black card has been revoked.
I don't need nobody to give me a card for being black. I don't need that. Okay.
No. But again, why continue? Why do you have Lakeith? Why would you even do this?
Well, it's really hard because the other two that I have on my list, they have more of the emotional impact and significance for me. While Lakeith, he's still starting out, and I'm being introduced to most of his works. I'll be honest, I just started Atlanta this year, so if this was last year, I would have been fine not watching having Lakeith out there. But then I have seen him in Short Term 12. He is fantastic. I've seen both the theatrical and the short film. Yeah, sure. I do love his small role in Selma. I do love him popping up in Dope and Straight Outta Compton. It's just when it came down to it, he didn't come as the leading man to me until I saw Oh My God, Sorry to Bother You, and then Someone Great, and what's that romantic? The Past.
The Photograph.
The Photograph, yes, The Photograph. Yeah, I'm sorry. I guess I haven't warmed up to him just yet. He didn't blow me away immediately, but like I said, just like before, I got a lot of homework to do on both of these guys. Once I catch up on my homework, trust me, this is a different list at different time.
Does anybody else did anybody else do this?
Question.
Yes.
It's too late to switch up our list in our head, right? Like, would that really throw you off?
I mean, if you switch it, we kind of know who your number one is automatically. So
No, you don't.
She's good. My guess is
it depends on what you're saying.
It doesn't matter. My first time that I sent in my list, oh hell, I did kind of give up my stuff, huh? Oh well, I put Lakeith as number 3 as well on my first time sending in my list.
You can go ahead and put any disclaimers you want. You didn't switch it up if you must, but you had it at 3 first. So why did you have it at 3 before?
Honestly, I put him. Y'all really think highly of Lakeith as an actor, and though I like Lakeith and I love the things that he's in, but like I feel like I don't get much variation in his acting. I feel like Lakeith is coming on screen as Lakeith. Like he's in The Harder They Fall, he was Lakeith in a cowboy outfit. And what else was he in? In Knives Out, he was Lakeith in a suit. In Dope, he was Lakeith as a blood. Like, Straight Outta Compton, he was Lakeith pretending to be Snoop Dogg. And that's what I get from him, right? When it comes to his acting. But I love the things that he's in. Like, so that was what I was tugging with when it came to him. Like, I don't find you to be an exceptional actor, but I do love a lot of the movies that you're in. Like, even with The Photograph, he wasn't even part of like the best half of the movie. Like, he wasn't the best storyline. Him or what's her name? Issa. They had horrible chemistry together. It was very awkward. But yeah, so he's not the greatest actor to me, but I love a lot of his things that he was in, which made me think about changing my list because I forgot about the fact like it's not the best actor, maybe, but like
it really is up to you if you want to do actor because you know potential. That's fine. It's really right. The only thing is their work is gone. That's up to you. You make me think about the actor question because I just feel like Lakeith being Lakeith in anything is great acting. So that's why I think he's amazing.
But there's no range in that.
You have a slight point. You have a slight point. But there are a lot of great actors there who don't have much of that range.
We let Denzel be Denzel for 20 years.
I was about to say that. But Denzel is also amazing being Denzel in whatever he does.
Kevin Hart has been Kevin Hart for the past 5 years, and I'm already sick of him.
We're not talking about Kevin Hart and acting anymore. Like, we're not happening. So with that, we're just going to keep that moving. Comedy-wise, sure. Acting, no. However, in the part I need to finish, damn it, I only ever remember the French movie, the Untouchables. What he did with Bryan Cranston, he was actually really good in that. Kevin Hart was.
He's in the Netflix show is pretty good too.
The Netflix show was pretty good. I haven't finished either, but they're both great. But anyway, with that, I believe we're down to the end now. I don't think there's it. Wait, nope. Matt, bring us home.
Bruh, Boyega. Like, going into this, my thought process was, what impacted me? What am I okay with losing film wise? As much as I love the Star Wars films, as referenced right here and the rest of my room, I could lose I needed more of his stuff than I did Idris's. Like, I love as much as shit as Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker get. I love both those films. I really like Imperial Dreams, especially him in it. I love him in Detroit. His newer film that he did with Scott Free, I forget what the film is off the top of my head. I enjoyed him in it. He plays a lawyer.
That independent one he came out with not too long ago.
And it's on Hulu right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, there's a lot of his and Attack the Block. I love Attack the Block. So like, he's my 3, but there's more of his stuff that I would go to before I go to anything of Idris's. So
I guess anybody, Daryl, you're the last one. Is Boyega your number 3 or did you switch it up?
Yeah, Boyega's my number 3. A lot of the same reasons. Like, I love the Star Wars movies. I loved Imperial Dreams when I discovered that. Every single time somebody came to my house, I was like, you got to watch this. But when it comes to that, it's just he doesn't have the full depth that my favorite two have, so that's why you had to go.
He doesn't have the filmography yet, and it's that's because he's young. Like it's going to come with age, but
but he wasn't on everybody numbers. He wasn't everybody's number 4, which surprised the shit out of me. And as you see now, he's actually Ryan's one of Ryan's top 2. So we'll see.
This nigga.
We'll see what happens there. We'll see what happens there. Look, dude, you were the one who got rid of Idris. Shush. The only one that got rid of Idris.
Bro,
So,
that came down to what I had to what I had to choose emotionally. But I didn't put Boyega like that far above Idris is my point. Like shit.
Yeah, well, with that, you and Malcolm also got rid of Daniel. I just forgot to get here, make this more simple. Bam. You, Matt, have Daniel and Lakeith number your top 2, while I have Idris and Lakeith, as well as Malcolm and Daryl. Drew has Idris and Daniel, though Lakeith would be in there secretly, and Ryan was also doing crazy things in my head the other way around. That's why I put him on here, because he threw some wrenches. But with that, the numbers play out like this. Move, screen, get out the way. Ludo is still number 4. I'm sorry. But with that, when I did the hip hop episode, the numbers come out this way. 2 people saved Idris, 3 people saved Lakeith, and we have somebody on an island, the only person on an island. And because of that, you may get to speak your piece first. You are alone in this. So the person who kept Daniel Kaluuya, go ahead and speak your piece.
Bruh, the disrespect y'all motherfuckers give to Judas and the Black Messiah. Get out. I'm thinking your pictures here because that motherfucker's about to be in Nope, another Jordan Peele film. Like, there's
overrated.
Shut your bitch ass up right now. I don't want to hear from you.
Is Matt the one speaking right now?
Yes, sir.
Why? Because your list does not say that in my email, yo.
Yeah, because I'm like, wait, I'm supposed to be talking right now.
Yes, it should. It should. I could have swore I said, let me go to this email. I think you did the email.
Apparently, we don't have anybody else on an island. Apparently, Matt is not only late, Matt is not only wrong, but he does not know how to write a list.
Bro.
Staying,
wait. My bad.
Staying, Lakeith.
My bad.
You know what, Matt? You were on timeout for a little bit. I don't know if you actually kept Daniel or not, but the actual person who sent in a list that said Daniel was staying, go ahead and speak.
All right, now I will speak. I am the person who chose to keep Daniel out of everybody else. Whether you guys agree with me or not, I find him, from what I've seen, because I haven't seen a lot of John's stuff, to be the better actor amongst some of these folks in there, even though his list of movies that I would want to keep isn't as long as Idris's or Lakeith's. I feel that whether positively or negatively, his films have been more impactful than a lot of their stuff. So Judas was a very impactful movie. Get Out, whether you liked it or not, meant a lot to the culture. Queen and Slim, whether you hated it or loved it, was important, and so was Black Panther. And though the ending of Widows really sucked, it started very strong for me, and I thought he acted his ass off in that movie very well. So much so that I think of him as a better actor than Idris and Lakeith. I feel like he has a bigger range than them, and I like his little accent. So yeah, that was my pick.
Nice. Matt, I don't know how many episodes you watch or not, but it gives me more ammo to talk shit to you.
Bro.
We go straight to number 1s after 3, just to let you know.
I've watched like when Chris is on, but a lot of the time I'm doing show prep in my
you are doing Spin for the Real. By the way, go over to Spin for the Real right after this. They start at 9:00. But this is the number 1s. This is who you saved, not your number 2. Because we didn't talk about them enough, we can go straight to it. So with that, from there, Drew, feel free to keep talking because, again, you deserve to get your shine being on an island, and from then on out.
No, that's basically what I have to say about Daniel. I like Idris. I really, really do like him a lot. But when I look at his stuff, like, yeah, I would love to keep Thor and Avenger movies. Obsessed is okay with Beyonce in it. American Gangster, but like, I can do without Cats. I could have done without Suicide Squad. I mean, people really love that, but I just did not. It did not vibe with me like that. There's some things that I'm losing, but it's not heartbreaking stuff with him. But Idris, I do like you, and I find you to be a very attractive man. But I'm gonna go with Daniel.
Yeah. And with that, Daryl and Ryan kept Idris, and me, Matt, and Malcolm kept Lakeith. And what it did for me, why I kept Lakeith when I thought I was keeping Daniel at first, is I ran it down, and I think Ryan mentioned it. Not only do we get to keep probably my favorite movie of the year. It won't end up being my favorite movie of all time, but The Harder They Fall is fucking amazing. Not only do I still get to keep that, not only do I still get to keep Get Out, but Dope and Straight Outta Compton, he is in that. And I absolutely love Dope. And I absolutely love all of that. And looking at everything, I'm saying Idris has Infinity War, which is fucking killing me. Ragnarok, which is killing me. I've only seen 2 seasons of The Wire. I love The Losers. The Losers is underrated as shit. I already mentioned I've seen 2 more seasons than you. That's all you need to see to understand how important The Wire is. But as much as he has, Lakeith, in the shorter amount of time, has much more things that are essential to me, and I get to keep a couple of the things that Daniel was in that I love. So with that, I had to keep Lakeith.
We're on the same page. You and I thought a lot alike when it came to that, and I get to like The Harder They Fall may be my favorite Idris Elba performance. Period. I was one of the few people who saw that movie in theaters when it had a limited release. I was like, I was just like, I looked. I'm like, oh yeah, it's out in theaters now. Oh, there's one theater near me showing it, and there's a showtime that works. Let me drive the 25 minutes out the way. Sat down for a 9:00 screening, and next day I'm like, yo, I was like, I loved it. I really dig this film. And then I'm like, I feel like other people are gonna hate it. And then I'm like, am I wrong for liking it? And then it comes out on Netflix, and other people start watching it. And Ferris was outside of me, one of the first people to say, check out The Harder They Fall, because he went and saw it in theaters too. Like, I'm seeing everybody love it. I'm like, cool. My love for this isn't displaced. That is my top 10 of the year. I think I had it at my number 4 or 5. Like, but I mean, the only thing I'm okay with losing with Lakeith, but he's my number 1, is that Death Note movie. Nobody needs to see that shit again.
Please don't mind my sister. She means all the love.
I like that. Questlove.
So Questlove and Little Daryl, y'all kept Idris. What? Well, I know why you kept Idris, but go on ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I watch The Wire every single winter. That's the one show. That's the one thing that I have to watch in the winter. I've watched it every year for the last 10 years. I think that David Simon is the most important critical writer when it comes to breaking down what's happening in America. And I had no idea Idris was English the first time I watched it. There was no way you would ever be able to make me believe it till I watched Luther. Yeah, The Wire alone. String a bell. There.
Ryan.
It's to me, honestly. Oh, my bad. Yeah, I wanted to wait till I was called Questlove. Honestly, it's more than just The Wire with me for Idris Elba. It's just whatever it is, he has that commanding presence when I see him on screen that just immediately grabs my attention. Even when he has some small roles in films like Buffalo Soldiers, that him being cast as Heimdall in Thor, or as a general or military man, are you seeing 20 in the 28 Weeks Later horror film? He commands that presence for me that makes me want to pay attention when he's on. And I will not lie, that accent really does catch my. It's like I don't know. It's like he's casting a spell on me. And he's like, you like pay the fuck attention to me when I'm on screen. But beyond that, personally, he's in one of the only few Tyler Perry films I actually like watching, Daddy's Little Girls, which actually, and I like his performance. Love his performance in that. And but I will say, yeah, but even then, his presence on screen, he's that actor at this point where he has a career to where he can be in bad movies and he will still get the work. I mean, let's be honest. The Ghostwriter Spirit of Vengeance, terrible fucking movie. But you try to look at a B movie perspective, Idris shines in it. I actually like Rock and Rolla, but it's more like, and then of course, he's in the fucking Prom Night remake. That movie is terrible, but I like him in it. I don't know what it is. Just Idris is that one actor I just could not go without. Also, his turn in Luther. That got me hooked on British serial TV shows. I mean, maybe not to watch all of them, but to watch as many as I can get a hold of, even if I don't have access to them, whatever streaming service I'm using. His performance in Luther got me amazed. And the fact that they're actually putting together a film production of Luther says a lot about his performance in that TV series.
Yeah, that's the biggest reason why he's my number 2. Malcolm looks like he's on a very important phone call, but Malcolm also has Lakeith. I loved it. But with that, Drew, give us any of your final thoughts. I know Matt's got to get out of here really quick. So final thoughts on this list, these 4 gentlemen, and your number 1.
Yeah, no, my number 1 was Daniel. I love them all. If I was to redo this list and go based upon shows or movies that I do not want to lose, which is usually the name of this game, I think I would have put Lakeith as my number 1 because he's in more things that I care about. But the way that I viewed this list and the way that I broke it down, I went with who I felt was the better overall actor, which I think is Daniel.
All right. Daryl, any final thoughts, sir?
Everyone, please watch The Wire. Please make time.
I got you.
At some point, I do need to finish that. Though I will say it got me a A on one of my essays in college for the fuck scene, and I titled it "Fucking A." So it was great. One of my favorite college experiences ever.
Season 2 is a little rough to get through because you want the same stuff that you get from season 1, and it's not there. They pick back up season 3, 4, 5, and then around season 4, they give you a reason to enjoy season 2 with how it's all tied in. So, power through it.
Matt, feel free afterwards if you got to go, get ready for Spin for the Real, go. But give us your final thoughts. Lakeith, your number 1, why you would get rid of Idris didn't make any sense, but your list in general, sir.
So overall, the reason my list was what it was ultimately what do I keep from each person? Get Out was the first horror film I ever saw. So that has a lot of sentimental value to me for that, and that's why Daniel was my number 2. But Lakeith, I remember when Straight Outta Compton came out, reading Entertainment Weekly, actually before it came out, and they're like, actors to keep an eye out on. Lakeith Stanfield, he plays Snoop Dogg in the upcoming Straight Outta Compton. Do we only get him for 30 seconds? Yeah. But I knew who to look for. And then I started following his career. There are very few actors who I get my ass in a seat just by their name. Lakeith Stanfield is one. Daniel Kaluuya is one. Chadwick Boseman, may he rest in peace, was one. And John Boyega is one. Idris Elba is fine, but he's not a name I actually I go for, which is another reason I had him in last place. So, yeah.
Ryan, last thoughts on this list. You're carrying the Star Wars torch outside of Idris. But any last thoughts, sir?
Well, yeah, I will say with John Boyega, originally he was my number 4, but when I was thinking about his career and his love-hate relationship with Star Wars and the films, I had to put him as my number 2 because as much as I am diverse with the sequel trilogy, I don't want to lose it because John Boyega being in there, he stands as a constant reminder of actors in film production in Hollywood that when you are given a role that you think you're going to be, for Star Wars, throughout Force Awakens, he was heavily marketed as being one of the faces of that franchise. And then, of course, because of terrible back-dealing decisions in Hollywood, especially with Star Wars and Disney, his role kept getting cut down more and more until when we hear all the behind-the-scenes stuff with Disney and how they handled Star Wars, it caused this uprising, or at least this anger among so many fans to realize that what everyone's constantly saying now when you look at the sequel trilogy, make a plan, stick to it, and maybe make adjustments if shit happens. And seeing how Boyega's role was so reduced hurt me, because at that time of Star Wars, there really wasn't much diversity outside of maybe Sam Jackson and Lando Calrissian. So seeing Boyega there, I thought
you're going to say Samuel by name, but can't pull out Billy D. Williams.
Billy D. Williams. I was going to say the same thing, but hey,
Billy D. rolls off the tongue faster than Samuel Jackson. I'm sorry.
But that's my point. You said Lando, not Billy D. You said Lando.
My bad. I'm just trying to get to my point here. I'm trying to make sure you can get to your show, man.
Man.
Well, all I will say is that with Boyega, when he was at the face there, I thought this was going to be the start of more inclusiveness, more diversity into Star Wars, especially all that negativity towards his character when it was revealed he was a stormtrooper. I'm thinking, like, if Disney stuck behind him, they put him there, they were going to stay confident in that. But then that bait and switch happened, him being cut down to a joke, his arc being terribly executed. It just proves to me that Star Wars is like every other fandom out there that's have a long way. But I think with Boyega, like what you said, Rue, when you saw him in Pacific Rim Uprising, you can see him in almost in anything. And just like his roles in Attack the Block, Detroit, I think, yeah, I can see him in anything. And if he can bounce back from this, I want to see his career keep going, especially since he's that young.
Y'all forgetting Small Axe, by the way. Don't disrespect Small Axe. He was phenomenal in that.
I haven't seen it yet. But Malcolm, bring us on home, sir. You are back. Give us your final thoughts on this list, why you have Lakeith number one, and anything else you want to mention.
Yeah, like as I said before, like I took the big franchise stuff out, like even though we would still lose it by losing the actors, but I chose to balance everything outside of that. And it's just one of those cases that I like all the stuff like Lakeith is in. I'll be goddamned if I'm saving cats from any kind of death. So unfortunately, that did mean that Idris had to be the sacrificial lamb for cats. But look, I'm not saying like any of these actors are bad; they're all good. I just like what Lakeith was doing in the movies better, and like I may have gave up what I had number one with my question earlier, but like I love Judas and the Black Messiah and Get Out, so it's like to be able to keep those regardless of which one I throw out, then that's just a win for me. And yeah.
And that's why I had a lot of fun putting this list together. But to end this all off, me, Matt, and Malcolm kept Lakeith. Drew, she kept Daniel, and Daryl and Ryan kept Mr. Luther himself. Not Luther, but Luther, Idris Elba. But with that, we're going to go into the riddle for next episode. And
go Cavs.
And yeah, sure. I'm going to put this in for you. If you had one day to save the world, how would you go about it? Would you be like Eggsy from Kingsman and love the federal agent so much that you name your dog after one? Or do you like the thinkers more and want something cryptic? Like if I said, go save Kirby from Scream, you save the world. Or do you like to keep it low key, want to be undercover and say like your name is Sydney, a.k.a. Kate, a.k.a. Juliet, a.k.a. whatever other name you got? Or is the countdown just so horrible for you, hour after hour, after second, you're like, fuck this, I'm putting in my lottery numbers, I'm getting on a plane, and I'm disappearing in the smoke. With that, for Daryl, for Drew, for Ryan, for Matt, and for Malcolm, we are out of here. Matt, this one's for you.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man? Bro, I'm out, man.